Hello everybody, I hope you're all well. So I'm out here enjoying some beautiful summer sunshine and I'm just heading towards a nice secluded spot, although to be honest everywhere is quite secluded at the moment, but heading towards a nice spot so I can talk you through my latest developments. So I've had my MRI results back and I've spoken to the surgeon and I now know the plan going forward with regards to removing the rest of the tumours, the neuroendocrine tumours in my body that are in my liver, and whether they can do it in one surgery or two surgeries. And it isn't going to be quite as straightforward as I perhaps hoped, but we'll get into that in a little bit. Well, I'll tell you what, it's lovely out here today. Let me just change from those to a hat so you can see my eyes. There you go. He's thought of everything, this guy. Yeah, so really nice out here, no one around, which is awesome. I mean, I think it's something to do with the fact that it's too warm for people to walk their dogs very far, so people haven't ventured out very far. So anyway, let's talk about the subject of this video and my MRI results. So it's kind of the tale of two phone calls, this one. So the first phone call from my surgeon and we talked through my MRI results. So the MRI of my liver, looking at all the tumours in my liver and comparing it to my original MRI back in February. So what he said was that I have 8 tumours in my liver, 7 of them on the right hand side of my liver and 1, as far as I understand it, kind of in the middle, branching across the left and the right and wrapped around the back. So that's the awkward tumour. So 8 tumours in total, which is no increase in number. So I have no new tumours, which is obviously awesome. And all those tumours don't show any signs of growth. So brilliant news. Tiny portion of me was hoping that he'd say they'd shrunk a little bit, but I think I was hoping for a bit much there. I've read previously, and I don't know whether this number is in any way accurate, but 5% of people who are on these lanreotide injections to control neuroendocrine tumours show some shrinkage of their tumours. But yeah, no shrinkage of mine, but they're stable, so that's awesome. Now, he also said that he believes all those tumours are operable, which is great, and we've kind of known that all along. He kind of confirmed that, and he thinks that, or he thought he could do it, a little clue to what's coming up, he thought he could do it all in one surgery. So, you know, I was pretty happy. We even booked in kind of a preliminary date of the beginning of July for that surgery. So let's cut to the next day and I get a phone call, and I was expecting a phone call, but from his nurse to kind of confirm things, because previously, in my previous phone call, he'd said that he wanted to run it past the multidisciplinary team first because they'd not had a chance to speak about it, and he also wanted to talk about it to all the liver surgeons at that hospital. I'm quite lucky that I go to a hospital that has some very good liver surgeons, so he just wanted to talk it through with those guys as well and see what their opinion was about with regards to removing all that tumour bulk in one. So I knew there was a slight caveat to that. I knew it wasn't definitely confirmed yet. So I got this phone call and I was hoping it was going to be the nurse, but it was the surgeon again, which, you know, kind of immediately raised my suspicion as to the fact that it wasn't going to be quite as straightforward as I'd hoped. And yeah, so he talked it through with the multidisciplinary team and all the team of surgeons, and they'd done a sort of precise measurement of how much liver would have to be removed in order to get rid of all the tumours, and it works out as 73% of my liver would have to be removed, so leaving 27% healthy liver. Now, the safe margin of removal is 75%, so my 73% is pretty close, and obviously I've got that awkward tumour in the middle that complicates things. If all my tumours are on the right hand side of my liver, it would make things a lot more straightforward, but because of that tumour, it's quite a risky surgery to take away 73%, or what they would think would be 73%, and then sort of post-operatively I could be in quite a bit of trouble with liver failure and things like that. So they want to add a step to make things safer, which, you know, is fair enough. They want to make it safer, that's all right. So what they want to do is do a procedure known as a portal vein embolisation. So the portal vein is sort of the main blood vessel that takes all the nutrient-rich blood from the intestines into the liver. So portal vein embolisation basically blocks off part of the portal vein, stopping the flow of that blood. So what they'll do is they'll block off that portal vein to the right-hand side of my liver, and I believe to the segment that contains the other tumour as well. I'm kind of hoping that's what they're doing anyway. And what that does is it promotes a lot more nutrient-rich blood to the good side of the liver, so the left-hand side of my liver, and that will mean that I should get some growth of the good side of the liver. So I just want to delve into portal vein embolisation a little bit further and just discuss some of the numbers with you. So here is my liver at the moment. So as you can see, I have 8 tumours, and what it would mean is that 73% of my liver would have to be taken away, and that would leave me with 27% of good liver. Now that number, as we've already said, is pretty low. The portal vein, and obviously this is a very basic drawing of the portal vein. It's a lot more complicated than this, and it branches off into the different segments. But the idea is that they block off blood flow to that bad side of my liver. And what that does, it promotes all that nutrient-rich blood from the small intestines to travel into the good side of my liver to that 27%, causing it to grow. Now looking into the numbers, the research is quite varied, but there's anywhere between 10 and 70% expected growth of that good portion of liver. So what does that mean? So I'm going to ignore that 10% because I'm going to try and do a lot better than that, hopefully. So what if I get 30% growth? Well, what that means is the good portion of my liver would grow to 35%, meaning that I'd have a volume of healthy liver that is 35% of my normal liver volume. What about 50%? Well, that would give me a healthy portion of liver that is 40% of the total volume of my normal liver. And here's the number I'm going for, 70% growth. That would give me a healthy liver volume of 46% of my normal liver. So when they come to resect the liver and take all those tumours away, I'd be left with a nice healthy liver that's just 46% of its original size, but will grow to full size in no time. A lot safer. So I totally understand why they want to do it. It does make sense, makes things a lot safer. Those numbers stack up a lot better. Not going to lie, slightly disappointed that an extra step's been added, because I just really want to get on with my life. But hey, as I keep sort of saying, I am fortunate that I am in a position where I will hopefully get to a point where I can put this behind me in some way. But let's talk a little bit about timelines regarding this portal vein embolisation. So I've got my pre-assessment booked for that procedure next week, and then the week after is when they want to do the portal vein embolisation. Now, he wasn't quite sure whether I'd be staying overnight or if they'd do it all in one day. So it might just be a day stay in the hospital. Because what it means is they don't have to open me up. They just sort of feed a catheter in and block, feed a catheter all the way to the portal vein and then block it that way. So they're going to do that maybe in one day, and then I'm going to have to sort of recover from that. I've read there's varying different symptoms you can get. Some people respond really quite well to it, but I'll have to recover a little bit from that, and also give the good side of my liver time to grow. And the sort of time scale for that I was given was 4 weeks. So 4 weeks after the embolisation is then when I'd go in and have the liver resection. So it looks like the liver resection might happen around end of July as opposed to beginning of July. So yeah, what we've got a delay there of 3 to 4 weeks, which on the surface of things isn't really too bad, to be honest. Yeah, it's just a bit tough mentally when you're just desperate for it all to be over, but that's what it is. It's safer. I've kind of managed to turn it into lots of positives. A couple of positives are absolutely meaningless, really, but for me they're important, and it's going to mean that I'm going to be able to watch all the European Football Championships whilst I'm recovering from the portal vein embolisation, because I was a little bit concerned that I was going to miss some games due to surgery, but that doesn't look like the case. So I'll be watching lots of football. Sorry, Jenny, and also I'll be able to watch all of Wimbledon as well. So yeah, definitely some positives to this. But no, the important ones are that it's going to be safer. I was a bit concerned about the numbers and was nervous about the resection previously because I'd always been told that it was going to be quite a large bit of liver that would have to be taken away. So I'll be a little bit less nervous, which is good. And also, I think the fact that that right-hand side of my liver is not really going to be getting any blood flow, it's going to give my body time to adjust to not having that side of my liver prior to having that liver resection. So my recovery from the liver resection should hopefully be a bit smoother and a bit easier because losing that part of the liver won't be such a shock to my body. So hopefully that's a real positive. And it also just gives my healthy side of my liver a bit of a head start to growing nice and big and healthy again. So yeah, there are definitely positives to be had. And look, the MRI was a good positive MRI. You know, things could have been a lot worse there. So slightly disappointed, but not down about it. So we just carry on. Another obstacle to get through. I've always said that it was never going to be simple, was it? And yeah, it's not proving to be the most simple, but we're getting there. Anyway, thank you as always for watching along. If you did like this video, then hit the like button. It really does help the channel, as they say. It does. And subscribe to the channel. Hit the notification bell. I'm going to ask for something else as well today. If you don't already, then why don't you follow me on Instagram. Here's my Instagram handle, Peter M. Riley, nice and simple. Now, I'm not very good at updating Instagram, I have to admit, but I'm going to try and get a bit better. And also just think it's quite a good platform to share with you guys some sort of real-time news when I'm in hospital. Because I know a lot of you kind of like to know that I'm okay if I go in for an operation or something. So that way I can update you sort of nice and quickly that everything's okay and I've woken up from the anaesthetic and things. So follow me there for some updates in the future. Anyway, thanks guys. I'm gonna find some shade because I've still got my winter skin on really. So yeah, I should probably get out of this sun. Right, take care, bye.